700 people. I sold packaged ice for a living. So my dad and I sold frozen water for a living. Fast forward, I went to college. My entrepreneurial endeavors in college is I sold moonshine. I sold apple pie to the people in the dorm rooms. Let's just say I focused too much on that and ended up getting kicked out of the dorm room my freshman year, got a 1.68 GPA, almost got kicked out of college completely, somehow turned it around where my life changed. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast, where we bring to you the most successful, happy, fulfilled gentlemen from around the world who have been able to conquer themselves, their life, their marriage, and their businesses. You will be learning from four-dimensional gentlemen who have cracked the code to the science of having it all. The question is, how can married entrepreneurs with kids become gentlemen, achieve true freedom, and build a successful, happy, and fulfilled life, marriage, and business? This show will give you the answer for that. My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm your host, and you're welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, Fulfillment Talk podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk with Alex Ramirez. Today, I have a very special guest. This is going to be a short one, but it's going to be incredible and full of value as well. And before I introduce him, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you who have been leaving reviews, comments, likes on all the major podcasting platforms, Google, Apple, Spotify, and to those who have been watching on YouTube as well. Thank you very much. I want to tell you that if you get some value out of this episode, well, don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified every time we drop another life-changing episode. But share it with one friend, since this is how we grow. This is how we share our message. This is how we motivate, inspire, and bless other people to make a change in their lives. And the reality is that most people never take the time to like, comment, or leave a review. Actually, 95% of people never take the time to do that. But the 5% of you who do are the ones who make all the difference. And to you, I say thank you. And today, I have Brandon Adams. He's an Emmy Award-Winning producer, host of the TV series Success in Your City. Brandon is a video marketing expert and advisor that has helped companies and individuals grow their revenue, brand, and high-level business relationships through video marketing strategies, in-person events, and TV production. He's an expert in video, production, fundraising. He's raised $60 million to date, and in-person events and creating TV shows. So I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about that. So Brandon, thank you very much for being here, man, and making some time to be here with me. And you're welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here and share value with your audience. And there's by the way, I love your story and just talking to you before and what you're doing and at your age, man, keep doing your thing. I'm happy to be on this show today and excited to provide some value.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. So the first thing that I do is tell my guests to walk us through their entrepreneurial journey in 75 seconds or less.
Okay, here we go. 75 seconds or less. I grew up in Northeast Iowa, a town of 700 people. I sold packaged ice for a living. So my dad and I sold frozen water for a living. Fast forward, I went to college. My entrepreneurial endeavors in college is I sold moonshine. I sold apple pie to the people in the dorm rooms. Let's just say I focused too much on that and ended up getting kicked out of the dorm room my freshman year, got a 1.68 GPA, almost got kicked out of college completely, somehow turned it around where my life changed. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I was by your age when I read it, completely changed my life. And so what I did is I ended up going on to do a bunch of entrepreneurial endeavors, but how I got into the TV production space is I helped people raise money through crowdfunding. And so I was raising money for different endeavors, had some very significant campaigns. I learned that the power of raising money was the power of video. Once I figured that out, I went all in on video production, ended up creating 3 different TV shows, and actually being one of the producers of a movie called Think and Grow Rich, A Legacy, going back to that book when I read it in college. And so that was kind of my journey. Now what I do today is I have my own shows. I work with companies, public and private, and helping them grow the value of their company and doing it specifically through video. So that's me in a nutshell.
That was amazing, man. You nailed it. And normally, I then, after, having like a broad overview of the guest story, right, we then like dive deep into specific things. Maybe, since this is like a short one, maybe we can do that in another time if you're open to that. But today, man, I want to ask some selfish questions that I think that are going to be very valuable for me as well as to anyone listening. So is that cool with you, man?
Let's do it.
Cool, man. So let's see. So you started like crowdfunding, right? So like raising money, helping people raise money. That led you to create videos, because like the key to fund money is like creating a powerful video full of emotion and a story and all of that actually gets people to want to give you their money. And then you realize that what you wanted to do, what you like, the thing that you enjoyed the most was creating the video, which led you to like become raise money for a show, and then you became a co-host, and then that led you to like what you actually are doing now, which is like TV shows and winning awards and stuff like that. So, man, what I want to ask is, you've spoken on like 200 events, 250 events, right? And like this is like the reason that one of the reasons that I started my podcast intentionally was this year I'm building the foundation of over 200 high-level entrepreneurs. I have 50 so far. I want to get 50 every single quarter. I have 50 so far, and all of them have said yes to go and speak at my events that I'm going to be throwing in 2023, right? So you've spoken on like 250 events. So, man, I don't know, just talk a little bit more about your experience with events. How do you get people to want you to like go speak at events? How do you throw your event? I don't know. Like, I just want
Yeah,
to know.
no, I can speak on that. I mean, it comes down to becoming a person of value. And what I did is when I started podcasting in 2015, I was building rapport with people that I had on my show. And some of those people were the first people I asked to speak at my events. My first ever event I did was called Young Entrepreneur Convention, big event. Started planning it throughout 2015, 2016. We did our first event. Speakers we had Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, Jeff Hoffman from Priceline.com. Heck, I had Ken Shamrock, the most dangerous man in the world. I had all kinds of people there. And here's what I did. I mean, I paid money to get some of those people there. I invested the money and time into these people and relationships. Those people became my business partners today. I make a lot of money with Kevin Harrington specifically, because what I did is I'd bring people to these events, and I had to pay it first. Now, people that come to my events, speakers, I'll pay a travel voucher, and I'll pay for like basically hotel room, because I have a platform for them. But long story short, I had to pay it first. Because who am I? I'm just some guy putting on events. And so what I did is I created this ecosystem. The host gets the most. When you bring people together like that, I got in connection with the speakers, which we ended up doing business deals together. But also there was 500 people in my first event. I brought these people together, create experiences for them. Those people eventually went on and worked with me in some way. And so that's the biggest thing. I mean, really, you gotta find who's your top 10 list, find ways to add value to them. At first, some might say, hey, I'll come, and they won't charge you. But most, everybody wants their time. You got to find a way to add value to them so they can be there, which if you can build a relationship with them, that can help you in your own way for what you're doing in your business.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm building relationships. That's how I using my podcast. I started because of purpose, and it turned out to be this amazing thing that is going to help me reach my goals faster. So we're gonna need money, right? I'm gonna need money. So, man, how do you fundraise?
Yeah, so we actually did for our first campaign, our first event. I did an Indiegogo campaign, and we raised some money. We pre-sold tickets, we sold sponsorship, which went to fund the endeavor. But I also was using my own money. I was in the ice business. Everything else I was doing, I was putting into this. I mean, I'll tell you now, like at the time, what I did to commit to getting somebody like Kevin Harrington to speak, which I paid a big fee, I basically put it in a payment system where I made the first payment. I knew the next payment I had the money to make. I was willing to sell my pickup truck at the time to pay for that. And so there's going to be sacrifice, whether you're doing a barter with somebody to help fund it, or you're really working to get the tickets sold. It's not easy. What I would say is use the sales from other ticket holders, like people are going to buy tickets, use that money to fund the event, and try to get some sponsors, people that believe in you, to get involved with the event and help them cover costs of the event. That's really the first event's the hardest. It's so hard because everybody's going to say to you, well, what did you do last year? I didn't do one last year. This is my first event. Well, come back to me after you get the first year under your belt. But you can overcome that. It's an obstacle that was very hard for me when I did it, but I overcame it and it became a great event. But I put everything I had into it.
Cool. So you talked a little bit about sacrifice, right? And I like this, like the slingshot theory. Like, so what happens when like you pull a band, I don't know, 3 feet? How like, and then you let go of it. How far does it go? Does it go 3 feet far? No, it goes like way farther, right? So
Yeah.
like, you were willing to even sell your truck, you know, like take a step back a little bit, but then like because of the slingshot effect, you like,
you got to be all in. I mean, here's the thing, like anything in life, if you ever want to get huge results, you have to be committed. And sometimes the sacrifices you're going to have to take, most people aren't willing to make those sacrifices. And so, like I said, I was willing to sell my truck. I mean, at the time, my wife today, girlfriend then, we broke up for a while because I was so committed, I lost track of her. And so I was focused on that. And so I have countless stories of my careers after having multiple successes. I did have downfalls where I faced close to bankruptcy. I went through business relationships at work. I lost money, but that's going to happen. If you're going after anything substantial in life, you're going to have some obstacles. You just got to push through them. And the more you can push through them, I'd say the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the opportunity there is on the other side. And whether that's money, that's your ultimate goal, whatever that may be, you just got to be all in. Most people, they want the success, but they aren't willing to give up the weekends. They're not willing to give up the things they need to give up in order to achieve that. And so once you can find other people that have actually achieved it and they show you exactly what it takes, just do what they say. They'll tell you, most people just won't do it. It's the old saying, you can lead somebody to water, you can't make them drink. You got to follow through.
Okay. Yeah, man. Thanks. Man, so I end my podcast episodes with 5 questions. So, you know, I think we have enough time to like get through them. So can I go ahead and ask you the first one?
Yeah, let's do it. And I can go 5 minutes after here. So I'll give you got 13 minutes. We'll do.
Thanks, man.
Let's do it.
Let's see. So if you could go back in time and give your 20-year-old self some advice, not change anything or redo your life or whatever, just give your 20-year-old self some advice, what would you say?
Yeah. So for one, which I did do, is go read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It basically changes how you look at life and think and makes you think bigger. The second thing is really figure out who you want to become or what do you want to be. And you might not find that out right away, but while you're trying to figure it out, do stuff. Don't just sit around on your ass and you got to actually do stuff. But once you figure out what you want in this life, what you want for material things, what you want for your occupation, the things that you want, find people who already achieved that and find a way to add massive value to them where they can show you the way there. Ultimately, find a way to get into business with them. That's what I did. But I started by making them money.
Hey, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to tell you that this podcast has completely changed my life in ways that you could never imagine, and I would like the same for you. Look, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, and the fastest way for you to level yourself up in every area of your life is for you to connect with people who are where you want to be, build relationships with them, and connect with them. The best way for you to do that right now in the digital age is for you to start your own podcast. And I just wanted to let you know that I have a free training that you can get free access to. It's called the 30-day Net Worth Skyrocketing 3-step podcast cloak track framework. And it's going to show you how you can start and automate everything in your podcast, from finding your ideal guest, getting them on an interview with you, and creating an automated content machine in just 30 days. By executing on this free training, you're going to be able to connect with high-level people, no matter how rich, famous, or out of your league they may seem, in just 30 days with less than 1 to 2 hours per week, so that you can increase your net worth, your authority, your trust, your client acquisition ability, and your opportunity. So there's a special link for this free training in the description of this video. Thank you for watching and tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of this episode. Bye-bye.
When people get paid, they pay attention. So make them money, sell their book, get them opportunities, or be willing to work a part of their team for free. One of the biggest campaigns I did early on in my career is I helped John Lee Dumas raise $500,000 in a month for his book, The Freedom Journal. I took on that 6-month project for no fee. But that huge success basically catapulted my career because everybody wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
And I also got to go on his podcast show, which in the first time I went on it, I got 2 different deals that went through from listeners that generated over $50,000 in revenue. And so that's kind of the mindset I would tell anybody, 20-year-old self, figure out what you want, find somebody that's already done it, become a value to them, and they will show you the way. And ultimately, they might just bring you into their network, which makes it much easier. I call it the golden ticket to the Willy Wonka line. You want to get to the front of the line? Find the person at the front of the line, add massive value to them, you will get to the front of the line.
That's like the massive shortcut. Amazing, man. So I told you that I'm a part of a mastermind, right? That that talks about family, fitness, finance focus. And like I got this guy, the founder of the mastermind, on my podcast, and he was like, I talked to him, and he was doing like what I wanted to do. I just call it freedom, right? Like, and they're like the same message, different messenger. Like we have a bunch of people like doing the same thing, just giving it their own twist. And he was like, family, fitness, finance focus. I'm like, man, we do the same. Like I really resonated with him. We were like, our core values were aligned, and I was like, you are where you want to go. I mean, you are already the definition of where I want to be and do and go. So like, man, can you help me? And he said yes. And then his mastermind was like $36,000, which like I couldn't afford, but I was like, man, I'm just fucking committed. Just send me whatever you have. I'll find a way to pay for it. And then he was like, I offer financing. Let's do that. Right. And then while we were working through the financing and stuff, we found out that I had something that he wanted, and I ended up becoming part of the mastermind for free. Right. That was like a couple of months ago. And so like I didn't have to pay anything. Now I'm part of this group of, now I got myself into the network. My growth has been insane this past couple of months since I've been there. And even if I had paid, the return on investment, like I already made it, like even if I had paid. So it's been amazing, man.
You did it. I mean, hey, you became a person of value, added value to him, which in return you got what you wanted. There's different forms of value. Yes, there's cash, but there's value in terms of relationships. There's value in returns of some people want certain things. If they can get that, there's value to that. So there's all forms of value. How can you provide that unique value in different ways to specific people, just like you did? And now you're in a mastermind group with other high-level people, which allows you to grow your network and also the money that you have.
Yeah. A bunch of people who pay there's a $36,000, it's like that's
I bet they can afford your services too. So that makes it easier for you to get more deals.
Exactly, man. So man, the second question is around mindsets. So like, what is one mindset shift that you've had that you can share that has allowed you to get to where you are right now?
So I look at it like this way. I mean, keeping a mindset, like having a strong mindset for me is multiple things. Exercising every day gives me confidence, makes me feel better, allows me to have a better mindset. Conviction and belief in myself, and whether it's mantras or whatever it may be. But I'll tell you this thing's really changed my life. I look at life this way. I believe in a higher power. I believe everything happens for a reason. And so when something happens, I say it happens for me, not against me. So like some people like, oh, the world's coming to an end, this happened, and they get so negative about what happened. But I look at it this way. Okay, this happened. And I say, okay, this happened for me. What do I need to learn here? And how can I use this obstacle as an opportunity? And so when you have that mindset, there are no setbacks. It's more of like an opportunity for you to grow. And so that's the way I look at life. I'm just learning. I'm growing. And if something doesn't go exactly how I want it, I look at what is the opportunity in this situation. And when you have that kind of mindset, you look at things differently. There's 2 perspectives. Some person will be like, oh, that's a shitty situation. Or I'll be like, oh, that's a great opportunity. And so 2 people may have different perspectives. Mine's always going to be the positive of it, which ultimately leads to a positive result. And so that changed my whole mindset on everything.
Amazing, man. Thank you very much for sharing that. So it's just like the difference between victimizing yourself of like an obstacle that is keeping you from going to what you want,
100%.
or realizing that could be the opportunity that you could use to propel yourself forward faster, longer, and with more ease.
Yeah, don't play a victim. Too many people play victims. I'm not about that. Take ownership of what's happening and look at his opportunity.
Cool. Awesome. Mindset map. So clarity, man. So do you have any ritual, strategy, tactic? Like, what do you do to be clear? You mentioned right now, like, find out who you are, right? What you want to be. So like, do you have any way to like have clarity in your life?
Yeah, clarity. I mean, there's obviously things that I want in life. And so I know that if I want to get there, I got to obviously put the work in. But another thing for me that allows me to have clarity and really be in a good, positive situation to achieve those things is my atmosphere, who I surround myself with. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'm around positive people that are doing things way bigger than me, by the way. And so I can get to that level through that way. And so that's where my clarity is, getting around positive thinking people, which gives me more clarity on what I actually want in life and how to actually think bigger and getting there. And sitting down, I mean, I do a regular exercise where I just write down what I want. What do I want? How am I going to get there? And it's not just money. It's maybe different opportunities or vacations with my wife or whatever that may be. Constantly think about and ask yourself, what do you want? Most people don't take the time to ask themselves what they want. They just go about life on this hamster wheel. And then before they know it, they wake up, it's like 10 years go by and I didn't really go after anything that I thought I wanted.
Awesome, man. Great. Mindset map, motion. So what is the one habit that you have that has really contributed to your success?
Taking action. It really is. I mean, it's funny. It sounds easy, but most people don't take action. The reason why I have the opportunities I have today and to make the money I have and all the things that come to me is because I always took action. And there is room for people in this world that take action and do things. A lot of people sit back and watch. They're lazy. They don't have discipline in their life where they're doing regular activities every single day. Put every day, you did 3 things. Even you did one thing to get closer to your goal, you're going to achieve your goal. And then be a person of value where you're actually, my business partners, the reason why I'm here is because I get things done. Hey, we need to do this. I get it done. That action leads to results, which leads to revenue, which leads to opportunity. But yeah, taking action is probably the best trait I have, is just getting shit done and doing it. And then when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And when you stay true to your word, other people are going to attract to that because you're building trust with them.
Yeah. And then when you stay true to your word, not only the people have confidence in you, you have confidence in yourself because all of a sudden you can trust
100%.
yourself.
Exactly. You're getting your own confidence along the way as you have these wins.
So man, what do you think people don't take action, man? Because I work with a couple of people that like really struggle to take action. And it's like they're trying to find their why, they're trying to find their purpose, and like they come up with all of these excuses of why they're not taking action. But I just don't understand why they can't take action, man. Do you know?
They feel like they fear. Here's a lot of things. They fear what people are going to think of them when they take action. Maybe they do something wrong. I give a shit less what people think of me. I just know that, hey, I'm going to make things happen. So one, they fear they're not going to do the right thing or what people are going to think of them. Like, think about when you take on a new endeavor and you do it, there's a lot of mistakes along the way. People are like, oh, I'm afraid people are going to judge you. People are going to judge you no matter what. And so that's one thing. They fear what others will think of them. They fear failure. Well, hey, the only way to like get opportunity is by failing forward. And some people just get lazy. And then one other thing is people surround themselves with the wrong kind of people.
Yeah.
Like when you're surrounded by small thinkers or negative people or people that drink all the time or maybe do drugs or do things that aren't productive, what's going to happen? You're going to be influenced by that and you're going to be less likely to take action. But if you put yourself in a position like you are in a mastermind with high-level people, those forward-thinking people are going to rub off on you and you're going to be more likely to take action. But also, if you're kind of competitive, you're like, hey, I want to get results too because I'm around a lot of high-achieving people. So it comes down to who you're surrounding yourself with. Those are the main things I see and why people don't take action. They're lazy. They don't get results.
Yeah. So like the people they surround themselves with, so like things rub off. So whether you're hanging out with high achievers or hanging out with like losers, things are going to rub off on you, man. So the last question is on measure. So what do you think about measuring and tracking?
So definitely got to measure. I mean, if you don't see the results you had, how are you going to know like what's right, what's wrong, and how you can move forward? So I'm always looking at, I do this on a weekly basis. Hey, what did I achieve that week? What can I do better? Even a monthly, yearly basis. At the end of the year, I look at, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? If you don't take time to actually look at and measure your results, how do you know where you're going to go? Mm-hmm. And so that's a big thing. Take the time, look at what works, and be honest with yourself. like, if you're really not doing good in a certain area, be real about it. Like, one part of my life, I wasn't good with my finances. I financially could make a lot of money, but I didn't know how to save the money. And I was getting myself deep in debt. And so when I had it took me a while to be really honest with myself and have somebody to hold me accountable towards that. I got serious about my finances. And then I finally understood how to actually grow wealth and not live in a life of where I'm always spending more than I was actually making. And so that's just from my own experience, how to go about that.
Thanks, man. So if I want to learn more about crowdfunding, if I want to know more about like events, throwing events, getting booked on events, TV shows, and Emmy Awards, and all of that stuff that you do, where should I go to find more of you, man?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm all over social media at Brandon T. Adams, on Instagram, you name it, or my website, brandonTadams.com. Got events every week here coming soon. Next week, the week after, events around the country. And then I have my big Rise and Record event, which is in October, which is all around video marketing, sharing your story and making money through video. So I'm easy to find. I made it that way.
Awesome, man. Thanks. So, man, like you said right now, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. One of the most life-changing things that you can do is start surrounding yourself with high-level people. One of the ways that I started doing that was with my podcast. So there's going to be a special link for this episode in the description of this video, just for the Brandon Adams episode, that if people click on it, they will go to a free training that teaches them from A to Z how to start, grow, launch, monetize, and automate a multi-million-dollar network building podcast. So yeah, man, I just wanted to throw that in, and thank you very much for being here, man. I appreciate it, and I'll let you go.
Thank you, man. You have a good one.
Bye. Thank you for watching the Gentleman's Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one friend, leave us a comment, and let us know. 99% of people never leave a review or comment, but we love and are very thankful with the 1% of you who do. If there's something or someone you want to see on this podcast, send me a message on Instagram at Alex_Ramirez1020 and let me know. As a thank you for that, I have an amazing surprise for each and every one of you who does take the time to leave us a comment or review on YouTube or one of the major podcasting platforms